I grew up in a family that considered optimism to be a virtue, especially my dad. When he was in the fifth grade, he gave us a speech on the importance of optimism. He still repeats the opening phrase despite all annoyance whenever relevant. Think the best, expect the best. So my whole life, I always considered myself an optimist. I was raised in an environment that prompted optimism and convinced me that I was one. When I prompted, I said the class was helpful, and that yes, it would turn less lemon into lemonade. But it wasn't until I reached the seventh grade that I started to realize my actions didn't reflect my mindset I was projecting. Whenever I could get a bad grade, I was thinking I do next time. Instead, I was stuck in a place where all I could think about how when my average is going to fall, I'm going to be able to get it back again. The frame of mind repeated itself in everything from my relationship to my extracurriculars. It seemed I could find a negative in everything I participated in, and everything about me was becoming more noticeably cynical and negative. Any small inconvenience became the bane of my existence, and the worst thing conceivable until the non-small problem occurred. And even worse, I found myself focusing on the negatives more and more than the positives. After a while, I wasn't even sure that it meant to be an optimist anymore. After all, my whole life I had believed and proclaimed that I was one. But now I realized I hadn't really practiced this character that I still claim to value, and it's becoming more and more evident through my action. And I started to think, what does it mean to be an optimist? Optimism is a hopefulness and confidence about the future or the successful outcome of a situation. The trait is often used as a synonym for happiness, but that's not really true. You don't always have to be happy to be an optimist, and being an optimist doesn't always mean you'll be happy, really true or closely related. Optimism is more than just being positive. It's having a bright outlook on your future and trying to do whatever you can to make your situation better. You can be upset and realize what's going wrong, but still believe that it will get better, that you can make your situation better. And if that's the case, if optimists are more willing to be better situation and believe that they can achieve that, if they take action to fix it, that generally makes them more successful in life. A study by Harvard Business Review found that optimists are more usually confident and more committed and more aligned in their work. They are the ones that get farther in life and usually end up the most content. So we should always want to be optimists, right? But the fact is we aren't. Is that because we choose not to be, or because we just don't have it in us? Is that a choice or inherent characteristic? What makes someone an optimist in the first place? It turns out that's a mixture of a few different concepts. The first one we usually jump to is environment, and makes sense why. We know that the way we rate makes us more inclined to behave one way or another. If you rate in an environment that's more positive and open, you're more likely to reflect those characteristics. And if you rate in an indifferential home, optimism may not be your frame of mind. But it's not the end all be all. Genetics also plays a role in whether you're an optimist or a pessimist. A study by King's College found that the genetic material on a specific receptor gene can actually influence these traits. The material that received indicates whether you're not or more naturally not positive or negative, but a study called genetic on account for one portion that makes someone optimist. It turns out that the main and dominant factor of optimism is your individual choice. Research confirms that you get choose your response in any situation and how it will affect you from there. You get to choose whether or not to be positive and negative in any given scenario. Overriding and predetermined cause from the environment to genetic and anything else. You aren't attached to the natural inclination of optimism and pessimism that you have from birth. Optimism can be learned trait. Focusing on the positive and working to better yourself and your situation can make you optimistic even if you're not naturally negative. And the choice of optimism is an important one to make. Why give up on system to become an optimist because you experience hardship? Optimism is an incredibly beneficial tool. It's not just seeing the world through wrong classes. It's an international decision to fix the negative in your life and to move on from there. And it's okay to further. I still by myself focus on everything that's gone wrong, and it's hard not but the difference that now I realize I can make the conscious choice to recognize the negatives and find positive solution in any given conflict. If you can reframe your perspective, the rest follows. And it's hard to realize that. But the next time you find yourself stuck in negativity, remember that in the end, you get to choose your response in that situation. Being optimist means that even falling apart, we can focus on we're going to pick it back up again. Thank you.